Princess Diana does not lose her life in the modern world. She loses control. By the time she realizes her name no longer opens doors but triggers filters, the damage has already spread across platforms she will never fully see. Nothing announces it, nothing explains it. The systems simply adjust around her. She wakes before sunrise, not because she wants to, but because the phone on the bedside table has already been active for hours. It is not vibrating. It is not lighting up. It is syncing, updating, logging movement, logging silence. She does not check it immediately. That delay will later be interpreted by people who monitor such things, people trained to read absence as intent. The house is quiet, chosen for its distance rather than its beauty. Thick walls, angled windows, a security system sold as discreet and modern, subscription-based, cloud-managed. Every door, every camera, every sensor reports to a dashboard she does not own and cannot access. Advisors chose it. The firm behind it markets privacy while monetizing metadata partnerships buried in fine print. She moves through the kitchen without turning on the overhead lights. Motion sensors still record activity. The data exists whether she acknowledges it or not. Somewhere, a pattern begins to form. Not of danger, but of routine. Outside, delivery vans pass without slowing. Years ago, they would have. Attention has diversified. Famous people are no longer rare. What has not diversified is scrutiny. It has simply become automated. Her name still ranks. It appears as reference, as archetype, as comparison. Recommendation systems use her to frame newer figures who cycle through visibility faster than she ever could. Her relevance is maintained by systems that do not require her participation, only her presence or her silence. She dresses in neutral colors. This is not fashion. It is risk management. Brightness invites commentary. Patterns invite decoding. Repetition feels safer, until repetition becomes narrative. Someone will later compile images of the same coat, worn across months, and call it intentional. The children are older now. Their lives move on parallel tracks. They intersect only when cameras can frame them together. They have accounts, teams, filters. She does not follow them publicly. That decision removes her from some conversations and creates others. Distance is interpreted as tension. Proximity would have been interpreted as control. Breakfast is eaten standing. She avoids windows. The habit formed slowly after a photograph taken from a neighboring property spread without explanation. The image was harmless. The commentary was analytical. It treated posture and timing as inputs. She learned then that neutrality is not empty. It is a surface others will use. By mid-morning, content has already passed through her name. She has not posted anything. That absence is captured, contextualized, positioned against unrelated events. Someone suggests restraint. Someone suggests strategy. Someone suggests legal review. None of them speak to her directly. Her team operates in a different time zone, not geographic, algorithmic. They wake when metrics shift. They sleep when sentiment stabilizes. Their messages are delayed and precise. They never say, "do not." They say, "consider." She considers walking. The route is mapped in advance, optimized, predictable. Once framed as protection, it has become a schedule others anticipate. She waits 5 extra minutes before leaving. Unpredictability has become predictable. Outside, a phone is visible through a windshield. The lens points nowhere. It does not need to. Facial recognition works at angles. The data will later be sold as part of a bulk package labeled Urban Movement. She walks with her head level. Looking down reads as evasive. Looking up reads as performance. Eye contact invites interpretation. Avoiding it invites speculation. There is no correct setting. A cyclist slows just enough to confirm. No photograph is taken. That choice matters more than any image would have. Hours later, A post describes the encounter without visuals. It performs restraint. It performs respect. It spreads faster than candid footage ever could. She returns home early. The adjustment costs her. The walk was tied to a wellness initiative proposed months earlier. Data depended on consistency. Consistency is now broken. The report will reflect that. Charity still fills her calendar. The work remains. The environment around it has changed. Physical presence creates content she cannot contain. Virtual appearances create metrics sponsors can manipulate. The causes remain intact. Their reach does not. She joins an encrypted briefing. The encryption is symbolic. Everyone knows the call exists. What matters is duration, timing, correlation. Silence here is efficient. It reduces clip potential. It also transfers narrative control to others. Later summaries will describe her contribution as tacit approval. A topic trends that has nothing to do with her. Within an hour, her name is attached as contrast. An old photograph is paired with a new headline. Context disappears. Recognition is enough. She does not respond. Waiting becomes a signal. The afternoon is spent reviewing foundation language revised for platform policy and donor comfort. Certain words are removed, others softened. The mission survives on paper. Its impact is narrowed by what can circulate without friction. She approves the version that does the least damage. It also does the least good. A notification arrives. A deepfake circulates under parody protection. Legal action would elevate it. Ignoring it would normalize it. Her team flags it for monitoring. Monitoring becomes acceptance. She does not watch it. By early evening, fatigue settles in. Not physical, accumulative. Each action has required calibration against systems that never pause. She cooks alone. No one knows. That anonymity is the benefit. The television stays off. News arrives, regardless through advisories and alerts. Direct exposure is inefficient. A message arrives from one of her children through a channel unconnected to any brand. No images, no metadata of interest. She reads it. She deletes it. That removes a data point. It also removes proof. Later, documents about housing security are reviewed. Privacy requires infrastructure. Infrastructure requires partners. Partners require concessions. Each concession narrows options. She signs. A photo appears online showing lights on in her house. Taken from a distance, reveals nothing, generates thousands of comments. Concern, entitlement, nostalgia for a version of her that never existed in this form. She does not see them. Before sleep, she checks the phone once. Enough to register engagement. A timer resets somewhere. Presence is maintained even in minimal contact. She places the phone face down. Habitual. Symbolic. Sleep comes unevenly. Wearable data she no longer uses still informs assumptions. Opting out raises flags. In the early hours, an interview from decades ago resurfaces. Edited for vertical viewing. Context removed. Comments treated as present commentary. She has not spoken. She is speaking everywhere. Morning arrives without reset. Another walk postponed. Another initiative diluted. Another silence reframed. Over time, adaptations accumulate. Routes shrink. Appearances thin. Language flattens. The version that remains is resilient, compliant, endlessly referenced, and increasingly absent. There is no collapse, no withdrawal. Only adjustment repeated until space becomes too narrow to notice. Survival here does not require disappearance. It requires reduction. Each day removes a small possibility. Each system rewards compliance with continued access. The cost is not life, it is range. She remains visible. She remains alive. She remains known. What fades is the ability to move without consequence. To act without annotation, to exist without being processed. The world does not punish her for staying. It narrows around her until staying means becoming smaller than the image that follows her. This video is a speculative simulation based on documented behavior, historical records, and psychological patterns. It does not claim factual accuracy.